Welcome back to Lionhearted. Today we're discussing something that holds so many of us back: fear. It's something we all experience, but here's the thing. Fear isn't real. It's just a figment of our imagination, a mental construct that only has power if we let it. So, stick around because by the end of this video, you'll have the tools to overcome any fear that's been holding you back. Let's start by breaking down what fear actually is. Fear is an emotional response to a perceived threat. Notice I said perceived. That's key. Most of the time, the things we're afraid of aren't actually happening. They're stories we tell ourselves about what could happen. Think about it. How many times have you worried about something only for it to never actually happen? Or maybe you dreaded a situation, but when it finally came, it wasn't nearly as bad as you thought. The truth is, our brains are wired to protect us, and sometimes that protection looks like overreacting to threats that don't even exist. This is where fear comes into play. It's not real in the sense that it's not a tangible thing. It's just your mind trying to keep you safe. But in doing so, it often keeps you stuck. Now let's talk about perception. Fear exists because we perceive something as dangerous, but that doesn't mean it actually is. For example, public speaking is something many people fear. But if you break it down, what's really scary about it? Is it the act of speaking itself? Probably not. It's the fear of judgment, the fear of failure, the fear of being vulnerable. When you change your perception, you change your reality. Instead of seeing that speech as a potential disaster, see it as an opportunity to share your message, to connect with others, to grow. When you reframe your fears this way, you take away their power. You start to see that fear isn't something to be afraid of. It's just a signal that you're about to step out of your comfort zone. And that's where the magic happens. So, how do we overcome fear? First, acknowledge it. It's okay to feel fear. It's a natural human emotion. But don't let it dictate your actions. Instead, use it as fuel. Every time you feel fear, know that you're on the brink of growth. Next, take small steps. You don't have to face your fears all at once. Start small and build your way up. Afraid of public speaking? Start by speaking in front of a mirror, then move on to a small group of friends and gradually build up to a larger audience. And finally, visualize success. Your mind is a powerful tool. If you constantly feed it with thoughts of failure, that's what it will focus on. But if you visualize yourself succeeding, overcoming your fears, and coming out stronger on the other side, that's the reality you're more likely to create. Let's look at some real-life examples of people who didn't let fear stop them. Think about athletes who push their limits, entrepreneurs who take risks, or even everyday people who step out of their comfort zones to pursue their dreams. What do they all have in common? They feel fear just like everyone else, but they don't let it control them. These people prove that fear is just an illusion, a barrier that can be broken down with the right mindset. And if they can do it, so can you. So, next time you feel fear creeping in, remember this. Fear isn't real. It's just a story you're telling yourself, and you have the power to change that story. Don't let fear stop you from living the life you deserve. If you found this video helpful, give it a thumbs up, share it with someone who might need to hear this, and let me know in the comments how you plan to face your fears head on. Stay fearless, stay positive, and keep that lion heart mentality.